Shelley Hofberg is a clairvoyant, medium, pet psychic, and tarot reader. She does not ask for the details about your life, but primarily relies on her gift of clairvoyance to receive the psychic insights that will be the most helpful to you about your soulmate, relationships, money concerns, and your career path. As a pet psychic, she will receive insights about what your pet or pets want you to know. As a medium, she will connect with your loved ones on the other side. Shelley Hofberg is the host of the Psychic Horizon radio show, produced by Goldilocks Productions and presented on Blog Talk Radio, Thursdays at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Shelley brings together the pioneers and visionary teachers to share with you some of the most enlightening knowledge that is out there today to expand your horizons and open the paths to higher consciousness.
Welcome to the Psychic Horizon Show. I'm your host, Psychic Shelley Hofberg, and today's special guest is Bill Foss, who's the author of The Secrets of Spiritual Success and Journey to the Akashic Records, and he's going to be talking about the Akashic Records and giving you psychic readings. And before I bring on Bill, I just want to make some quick announcements that on May 10th, psychic numerologist Jeremy Ryden will be my guest. He's the author of The Quest Method, Your Intuitive Destiny Guide, and Your Soul Story, How to Create the Life You Always Wanted. On May 17th is Brian Ross, the host of the Magical Journey radio show produced by Goldilocks Production that comes on Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And on May 31st is Kirsten Ross, who will be talking about animal communication. So have your questions ready about your pets. On May 5th, this coming Saturday, I'm going to be at the Healing Key in Long Beach, California from 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. On May 26th, I'm going to be at the School of Multidimensional Healing and Science from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. And I'm now ready to bring on my guest, Bill Foss. Hello, Bill.
Hello, Shelley. How are you today?
I'm fine. How are you?
Good. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear. Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. Can you tell the callers a little bit about yourself, Bill?
Sure. Absolutely. Boy, I just wanted to comment. It sounds like you're going to be really busy this month.
Yes, I am. Thank you.
Well, that's wonderful. You've got a lot of good things going on.
Yes.
So, yes, a little bit about myself, okay? I've been teaching now for 12 and a half years internationally and individually, and working with groups as well, and sharing spiritual insights that I have gathered over the course of my studies, and that's really what it's all about. You know, we learn, and then we share what we've learned, and we use what we've learned as from our guides and teachers to help others on the path, and that sort of like really grounds and balances the energies and the information through us continually. It's the way the world works. So as I continued to study, when I got on the spiritual path 20 plus years ago, and I found the metaphysical world, having been in the arts and music industry and coming all the way from childhood with a Lutheran background, with a Christian background, I sort of put that on hold, and I sensed that I wanted answers and information then, I think, as a child, but it was just, it was in the Midwest, and there wasn't enough, something didn't seem right. You know, I saw people going through the normal everyday Midwestern antics, if you will, in the church. And a part of me, a deep spiritual part of me, even as a child, said, this isn't right. And I backed out of it and went into my art and music for the next couple of decades. When I started to wake up and I found the world of metaphysics after moving to the southwestern United States, New Mexico, and then on into Arizona, the energy of the earth started to activate me and said, okay, we've got you in a zone, and this is the time of life where we can crack you open, where we can start to work with you. You'll start to heal your life. You'll start to, your true path will come online. And that's exactly what happened. So it's really been a very, very colorful road, a very long road, very giving and creative path that continues to widen and grow and flourish. It's just amazing. Edward Casey had written a book years ago called There is a River. And that saying I have used to explain so many different things in on the spiritual path, and that's exactly how my path feels. It feels like a river that just keeps widening and continually growing. So as I continued to study, I found myself working with the Akashic Records and have been studying that for some 20 years now. And that is basically, that's the basis of what I'm known for with my spiritual work, although I also do energy healing, which came as a result of working deeply in the records. I also found past lifetimes where I did shamanic work and clearing work. So I've done everything from demon extractions to clearing negative elemental energies to clearing souls that are kind of stuck with a person on the other side, ghost-like energies, or just people that aren't necessarily wanting to move on, and alien energies. So the demonic energies and the alien energies are they can be two relatively colorful and sometimes even nasty energies that I had no idea I was going to be doing this kind of work, helping people to clear these types of energies, until I went deeply into the Akashic Records and found that I had done it in other lifetimes. So it's with that, and I say this in explaining a little bit about my path, there are some deep gifts that we can connect into from the other side and from the records that will, every single person out there that wants to connect into the records or feels guided to it can really, really find a deep sense of support and creative aspects from other lives that can come in and really super empower their present life.
That's awesome, Bill. Let's take our first caller, Bill, which is area code 256.
Okay.
Hello?
Hello, and who do we have the pleasure of speaking to?
Yes, my name is Kimberly, and I'm calling from Atlanta, Georgia.
Kimberly?
Mm-hmm.
Hello, Kimberly, and what is your question today?
Well, my question is about career. I do some writing as a hobby, but I've always wanted to go into the medical field, and I found myself when I apply to something in the medical field, something happens and I don't go. Because presently I'm teaching biology in the school system, and I'm just wondering, is my career for this lifetime is supposed to be writing and not being in the medical field?
Hi, Kimberly.
Hi. How are you?
In Atlanta, Georgia.
Yes.
I like it down there.
I do too.
So a little bit of, may I give you what I'm getting on this?
Yes, please.
I think it would be helpful for you to start to creatively write some blogs. I think that you need to develop a blog, or it would be very beneficial for you to develop at least one, if not more, through a platform of a website that you may already have, or just maybe it's just WordPress blog, that you can start to have a dialogue with other people in the biology and the medical industry. Not only the industry, but the other people that are in the same place that you are and are studying.
Okay.
The school, I really feel a strong pull with biology for you. Is it such a thing that you have to work in the medical industry? What about working in the scientific field with biology?
No, it doesn't have to be the medical field, but I know I have some healing energy. I know I'm supposed to be doing some type of healing. I know that. I guess I've just drawn to this field because it's, almost like standard.
Are you willing to relocate with your work, or is that an option for you?
Oh yeah, I'm willing to relocate.
Because I'm seeing Florida for some reason. I'm feeling some opportunities in Florida with biology based around land and sea. And also the medical industry there. I think the energy, the creative energy there, will open you up a little bit too. I would look in the area of Florida. Would also look up the coast north from there, as far as Maryland. But I'm getting hits for you also in Maryland, that area, Maryland, and that could also indicate Virginia, Pennsylvania area, also the Carolinas, Raleigh, Myrtle Beach, that area, Myrtle Beach, Raleigh, and not so much South Carolina, but North Carolina north, and then also Florida. So I would, without trying to, pigeonhole you by giving you a direct, message in a box or a message in a bottle, I would say look in the fields that you're looking, look along the coast, north and south, and I would start with Florida, and then I would look in Florida, and I would look in Maryland, and then start to look also in Virginia. I think your hot spots are Maryland, Virginia, and Florida. Okay. And I think as you're thinking about the medical, I think you're going to find something in research. So I think that you may want to broaden your horizon there a little bit. Okay. Your writing is important and integral to what you're doing, and you want to a blog. The reason why I say blog is because it's something that other people can see right away, and even if you show it to a person that you meet online that's like, hey, I'm looking for work too, maybe we can bounce stuff off of each other and we can have this conversation back and forth. If you start a blog that's like writing a paper online, then you have that and you can send that to potential jobs or human resource departments that have to do with the field that you want to go into.
Okay. Okay.
So, keep your head up and get excited about, being out along the coast somewhere, because I think you will be along the coast.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Kimberly,
Yeah.
Shelley? I agree with Bill that you're going to do medical research or you're going to be working in a lab. And I do feel that there's a job coming by August. So I think that you're on the right path and looking for a job, that a job opens up before August, and that you do make a change from the teaching into the medical. And
okay.
I do feel, I agree with Bill that moving to some of these areas would open up opportunities for you, that it would be a new beginning for you that would open up many new opportunities for you. So I could see you selling and purchasing a place this year, because I feel that you own a home. And I do feel that you have some health concerns. Have you had some health concerns?
I have.
Anything with your stomach or chest?
My stomach, digestive issues.
Your digestion?
Yeah.
Oh, all right, because I feel that, I feel that you need to go to a doctor. Your digestion is kind of sluggish. You're going to be all right. You'll be okay. I don't see anything really major or really bad with it. It's just your digestion is kind of sluggish, and so you need a doctor to look at it. Did you have some other questions?
No, I did not. Thank you very much.
Thank you for calling, and have a good weekend, Carolyn.
Hey, you too. Thank you both.
Yes. Hey, Kimberly.
Yes.
I just wanted to throw in real quick, if I might, Shelley. I'm getting a hit for her on doing a very gentle colon cleanse would be good for you, and starting to get on a probiotic for the stomach. Get a probiotic from a natural grocers or Sprouts store that will support, and that'll do a whole heck of a lot. A gentle colon cleanse and getting a probiotic for your stomach will help to clean up and support and then of course you're going to have to clean up your diet a little bit. The other thing that I was getting for you in support of what I and Shelley were saying is that moving out to the ocean is going to be so much more beneficial for your body. You're going to feel that. So
wonderful.
Good luck with everything.
Wonderful. And thank you for calling the Psychic Horizon Show, Kimberly.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
I'm now going to continue my interview with Bill Foss on the Akashic Records, and then we're going to take our next caller, which is Carolyn, area code 818. What are the Akashic Records, Bill?
Well, Shelley, that's a really good question, and I'm going to share different information this time than I usually share, than I've shared on the other interviews, so people get a little more perspective if they're repeat listeners. The Akashic Records is an ancient part of Atlantis. It's an ancient part of the earth that was on the earth plane as a great library. And in Atlantis, the energy was so high that it was like Sedona or other vortex-like places on the planet that we have now are relatively low in comparison to the super heightened energy on the planet at that time, in the time of Atlantis, and the vortex that Atlantis was. The Akashic Records was this holographic living library that had a matrix to it, a holographic matrix. And when the Atlanteans did their energy work, they would create what looks like on the other side, and in the records as I view it, it looks like the aurora borealis, but it's more local, in a local area, and the energy is swirling, cascading, radiating in all of these multiple colors. And this is the living library and what they had available to create, because the Atlanteans could create thought to hand. They could create thought to form individually or as a group, because the energy was so high. Now, as Atlantis fell, and the energies of the precession of the planets moving through the photon belt in that 26,000 year period, in the great solar precession around the center of the galaxy, as our solar system moved into that photon belt and the poles shifted and everything went kaflooey on planet Earth, the magnetic fields were wiped, the Earth was flooded, a great deluge, and there were earthquakes, and of course Atlantis sank. Now, they had a controversy within their culture at the same time because of the shifts in duality and the electromagnetic polar shifts on the planet. It created a light-dark scenario. As this happened, this powerful holographic library, the Akashic Records, was moved up into the higher dimensions of the ethers. And this is this natural separation. So there was a lot of what we would consider to be high spiritual energy or magic or very interesting high-level beings, whether elemental or known or living, thinking beings of spiritual nature, that were moved from the earth plane. Different elements of the earth were moved up into the higher dimensions surrounding the planet in the ethers as the separation took place. Now, for all practical purposes, we consider the Akashic Records to be sort of like a very special grand central station for the souls that is now part of heaven and exists between the 10th and the 11th and the 11th and 12th dimensions. So it has two different areas primarily, and it exists between dimensions. If we wanted to explain it to ourselves or be able to digest it mentally, let's just look at it like it's in the higher dimensions. It's part of heaven now. It is a grand central station for the souls. All souls coming from other star systems to get their mission report and say, hey, the keepers of the records, the angelics, certain parts of Creator God, through these keepers, they talk to the souls as an essence of God, as your soul is part of God, and they say, what would you like to experience? You're going to have a very interesting movie in 3D reality on planet Earth, on the reality show of planet Earth. What would you like to experience? Is it about love? Do you want to observe and learn about love? Do you want to observe and learn about creativity? Do you want to observe and learn about right from wrong? So, and then the souls come down harmonically and are connected with the body spirit of a child being born through impregnation in the human body of a female, and this soul starts to grow with the person, and over the course, all things are spiritual, and every life is spiritual, whether people recognize it as spiritual or not. And those are things that you and I know, and others when we start working with people on deep levels. And yet there is always the opportunity for the individual to wake up and know themselves at the highest level that they can. And that's what the records are all about. The records is there for the Akashic Records is there for the souls. As the soul stays connected with the records, has that lifetime, and then at the end of the life goes back up into the records to look at their report and see and work with people. Sometimes it's traumatic, sometimes it's great, sometimes it's a mixture of both, depending on the drama of the physical world and reality. With all that said, we can start to work with the records while we're in human form, and it can be very empowering for us because then we get ahead of the curve. We get insights that we don't normally get if we just wait until the end of life and do our mission report and then pop back down to our next lifetime or go on to our next set of lives in another system.
Awesome. And Bill, let's take our next caller, which is Carolyn, area code 818.
Hi, Shelley and Bill.
Hi, Carolyn.
Can you hear me? It's a lot of static. Okay, a question I had. Gosh, I don't know what's happening. Okay, I don't know who this is, but I've been sitting and watching TV for the last couple of days, and I've seen two different bright white lights, and they were moving. And I'm wondering if those spirit guys or what is that?
Now, are you seeing it on the TV or?
No, I'm watching TV and it's on the side of me. It's like in front of me and it's moving. It moves like 3 times from the right to the left, like it's traveling. One was a long line, it's about an inch and it's flat. And the other one yesterday was a circle about the size of an eraser, the tip of an eraser, pencil eraser,
okay.
And it was bright.
Oh, okay. Carolyn, I want you to do me a favor. First off, I want you to kill your TV. I'm just kidding.
Oh, my TV? My TV is not. It's no sound.
No, I'm just kidding. So here's what's going on. When you, oftentimes, the dynamic of seeing spiritual activity or seeing spirit guides or people on the other side will be from your peripheral vision. It will be as you're focusing on the television and looking at that flat screen, and you're looking at an in-depth of three-dimensional, you're looking at a representation of moving pictures of three-dimensional reality, and your mind is looking into that with the left and right brain activity. You have another part of your mind that's open as you are open naturally from doing your own levels of energy work. And this is an indicator to me, and should be to you as well, that you're naturally starting to open a little more, and you're seeing things from different perspective with the mind. So you're focusing straight ahead, and you're seeing stuff out in your peripheral vision. That's the way it works. You don't have, you're not focusing there, and so energies start to, you're looking at it with a different part of your eye, you're looking at it with a different part of your mind. I would encourage you to do another practice, like without the TV on or in a different room, get where you have something different to look at. Maybe it's a white wall, maybe it's a picture that inspires you, maybe it's your spiritual place in your home where you meditate or do your healing work, and focus on that consciously and unconsciously. It's sort of like you let your mind go out of focus just enough so that in the peripherals you start to see. If you look, here's another level of what's going on. If you look up into a clear blue sky outside, or out over the ocean when it is. And I know sometimes over the city it's not so clear, but if
Right.
you can look into a blue sky and even at a white wall inside where the energy is clear or high, you're going to start to see little white dots and little white sparkles. As you look at that in the blue sky, that's what you're seeing. But you're seeing this up close and more pronounced as an elemental energy, and it could even be an angel or a master or a guide on the other side that's in your midst.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
There's one other level of this that you can do. If you want to see auras around trees, look at the tree against the blue sky. Look at the tree against the blue sky. And then let your eyes go out of focus up into the sky about 1 inch to 2 inches out from that tree. And as you're looking into the blue of the sky right past the tree goes out of focus just enough that you see a very thick white aura around the tree. And this, my friend, this is the dynamic of what you're seeing prolifically with energy out of the corners of your eyes or up around in different from different angles. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. I'll start doing that.
Excellent.
Looking.
Excellent.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's just what it is. You're just looking at energy.
And it's just beginning to.
Yeah, you're beginning to open, and it feels like it's good energy. Dark energy or lower energy will show up as dark spots.
Oh, dark spot.
Yeah.
So if I see dark, no, go ahead, Bill. No, it says I see dark spots. Should I talk to it and tell it to leave?
It's nothing to really be concerned about. There's dark spot. There's dark and light everywhere. Okay.
Oh.
It's just that the more that you do, you're a being of light, and your home is relatively clear, and the more that you do your prayer work, your energy work, your meditation work, your healing work, you just bring in more of that white light, into your home. Elemental energy, it's roaming freely, and there are all levels of everything, everywhere, all the time. That's a good way to look at it. And we interact with what we want to interact with. So, yeah. Just sit, relax, and enjoy the ride.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Shelley?
I think it's your mother.
Interesting.
Mother is concerned about you because you have not been feeling well. You've had different health issues that you've had to deal with, and she's concerned about you. And she says that you're strong. You have a strong heart and determination and a strong will to get better, and that there will be a healing taking place in your body, that you will heal, that she's sending you healing energy, to you. And the second white light was a grandmother. I feel you were close to your grandmother growing up, so the second white light is the grandmother, and she says she loves you and how proud she is that you turn out to be such a good person, that you really are a good person, and you care about people and you help people, and your grandmother is proud of you. So your mother and grandmother are around you and, communicating and wanting to communicate with you and talk to you. I'm going to have Kirsten Ross on the 31st, and she's a medium, So you may want to get, Bill gave you some good, important information, some very good information, but you could get more information from Kirsten, so both Bill and Kirsten are very good.
Oh, yeah.
So, thank you for calling the Psychic Horizon Show, Carolyn.
Okay, thank you both. Have a good day.
All right, you
Thank
too.
you,
Bye-bye.
Bye.
I'm now going to continue my interview with Bill Foss on the Akashic Records, and then we're going to take our next caller, which is area code 239. Bill, what are the Akashic Records in relation to psychic awareness and activities?
That's an excellent question, Shelley. Every single one of us on the planet is having an interaction, either consciously or most of us unconsciously, or super consciously and / subconsciously, with the Akashic Records. So you may look at it like every single person has a very thin white thread of energy that goes from the crown chakra, or the soul field around the body, of the celestial soul, the true essence of the self, up into the records and connected with that person's book of life. So as we move through life, each experience, each response, each reaction, each thought, word, and deed, we are writing interactively our own story and our own set of records for this lifetime in the book of life, in our personal book of life of all of our lifetimes of our soul, in the Akashic Records. So that's the dynamic of what's truly occurring, or the mechanics of consciousness, so to speak. Now from that, so it's all about the soul field. The soul field is what we access when we access levels of intuition. Intuition. Okay, so this is a knowing. Intuition equals knowing on a soul level, or information coming through on a soul level. Psychic awareness is just as interesting and is inspired kinetically from the brain, the glands in the brain, and the brain is the engine for the mind field, which is another layer around the body of the 7-layered field energy system that between the human form and the soul field. So the mind field and psychic awareness being activated through your brain, ESP, mind reading, clairvoyance, clairaudience, utilizing the inner sound, and psychic awareness activates the mind field to jump into 5th dimensional reality. It activates the astral field with the mind field. So both are important. Both psychic awareness and Akashic Records level are important. Psychic awareness, you'll get more direct in the moment, down on the playing field for a person in their life. And as you do that, you can also shift back and forth, and you can move into, through your heart or through the soul field, you can move into the intuitive, guided, and directly you can access your records and practice at this, and you'll be able to get 2 different levels of information that are very interactive. So if you're accessing psychically for someone, and then you're accessing on the soul records level as well, you're going to get 2 different levels of information, and sometimes they cross over to where you can say, wow, well, that's very interesting because I'm seeing this on a psychic level, and it coincides with what I'm seeing long range for this person over the course of their life, or their soul's purpose, their soul's journey, why they came in, why they're having these set of experiences. So both are important. And when you access the Akashic Records and you start practicing this and really, really start to open and get a handle on it, you're going to find the normal person is going to find that as the energy fields of the soul is activated and the Akashic Records are activated through a stream upload and download for that person, that the psychic awareness will open and become more second nature. You'll just start getting more psychic things happening. And let me add to that, in vice versa, in a like way, that if you are naturally psychic or you're practicing psychic and you want to start tending yourself towards the records, it's going to be easier for you because you've already opened this part of your mind, or it's naturally open for you. So you'll be able to start to move up into the records and start to get information. It's a really exciting journey.
Awesome. And Bill, how does the Akashic, can you share your guided journey into the Akashic Records?
A guided journey to go into the records?
Yes.
Absolutely. So
yeah.
You want to do do we want to do a little experience here for the listeners?
Yes, that's fine.
Okay. So when you want to go into the records, and let me say for the listeners, if you're driving a car or operating machinery, do not participate in this right now. You can listen to the playback and do it. So for anyone that wants to do it later or follow along with us right now, we would close our eyes and just start to take some deep breaths and just realize that everything really is okay. Start to relax your body and allow it to relax from the top of your head down to the tip of your toes as you relax down, down, down even deeper. And as you're sitting with your eyes closed, relaxing as long as you want to take to relax, this is your time to receive and be creative. And as you're relaxing, you start to see a beautiful portal of golden light move down around your body as it comes through the ceiling or from the heavens. And this beautiful pastel rainbow field appears overhead, up way in the distance, in this golden portal. As this golden portal is around your body, everything else in the room starts to fade back. Everything starts to fade back naturally as everything becomes dark. And secondary to this immediate golden pillar that you're in, and as you're in this golden pillar, your feet start to become light. Your body starts to become light. And as you breathe in and breathe out, you gently start to become light as a feather, light as a feather. And you float up, up and away, as you continue to float up through this pillar of light. As you float up through the ceiling and you float up through the sky and you float up through the celestial bodies and you see the stars and the beautiful planets. As you look out at Mother Earth and you see the beautiful big blue marble, You see the beautiful bright whites and the glow of the atmosphere against the horizon of space. As you move up through the clouds, up and away, you find yourself coming up into a great hall or a great temple that sits above the clouds. This great temple has beautiful arched ceilings and beautiful stained glass windows on both sides of the hall, where the cosmic light of creation shines down through the stained glass windows and dances across the floor in different colors. As you look around, you may see many books, many scrolls. You may see symbols. You may notice also that the walls or the ceiling, the arched ceiling, is semi-transparent. You may see the light of creation, the source light of the great central sun, up in the distance. This living library is the home for your soul, and you are always welcome to come here and to ask your questions and meet with your ancestors, meet with your guided loved ones, meet with the angels and archangels or the ascended masters, or talk to God. This is your place for knowledge and wisdom. And as you look to the other end of the hall, you see a great altar, and you see a very large book, a very ancient book, laid out on the table. Open to the middle of the book, the Eternal Now. And this is your book of life. This is your book that you are able to look into and ask questions, past, present, or future. And this book will be here waiting for you at any time that you wish to access it with your questions.
Awesome, Bill.
This
We'll
is
take
yours.
our next call.
This
They're still doing it. I'm sorry.
So as we've had this experience, now let's just move down. Let's just move back down through the pillar of light and get everybody back down into their body as they're connected with their records and as they always are. So we just move back down through the portal of light, back down, 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 back down, down through the ceiling and back seating into the body as the golden pillar of light starts to become transparent and everything comes back to its natural lighting in the room. As you take a deep breath, you want to ground back into the body, wiggle your fingers and toes, and recognize that you now have a passageway or a pathway to get into your own records. So that's it, Shelley. Thank you for letting me do the grounding part there.
Thank you. And let's take our next caller, which is area code 239. Hello, 239.
Hello.
And who do we have the pleasure of speaking to?
Maria.
Hello, Maria. And Maria, what is your question today?
So my question is about love and relationships.
And is there anyone in particular that you want to know about?
Yeah, so not that long ago, like last month, I met somebody and very strong connection. We kind of stopped talking for a little bit, and we kind of started talking again, but we're like more friends. But I feel like a strong connection, like almost like he was a soulmate to me. and I think he's really afraid, and I'm not sure how to handle it. Like, should I give him some space, or does he feel the same?
What is his name?
His name is Mohammed, but he goes by Mike.
He goes by Mike. And what do you pick up for Maria and Mike, Bill?
Hi, Maria.
Hi.
As you started to talk about this, even before you mentioned his name or what was going on, I got soulmate for you immediately with him. The good thing about it is that his energy feels fairly balanced overall, and he feels like he's got a good, strong, yet kindly male character. So this is good. I feel like that the soulmate connection between you and him from past life is beneficial. So I don't feel like there was any like high drama or gloom and doom stuff going on that would create like this this deep tether or pull for you two to have some deep passionate drama in this lifetime. I think it's a very good, it feels good for you. His energy feels good for you and beneficial on all levels. And because of that good balanced energy that you had with him as a soulmate in another lifetime, this is why it's that the energy of the friendship is also present with you currently. It feels really good, and I feel like you two could go either way with it. I mean, I feel like you could be great friends and be inspired and play off of each other. I also feel like that you could investigate and move towards a relationship. And honestly, when we want to go in the direction of a relationship, being friends first is so important, because so many of us like to jump in feet first or head first and start living the dream, if you will, immediately. So being friends and starting from that is very healthy, and it will also support this deeper energy that you're feeling on a soul level. That as we're talking about this, and I'm saying to you intuitively, I do feel like it's beneficial. I do feel like it's very supportive, and yet there's an opening. So you need to be able to ground with that deeper opening from the energy field itself that you feel between him and you. And the friendship will naturally support that. The dynamic of friendship will naturally support it. So what I'm saying also is that friendship doesn't equal not having a relationship. Friendship should be a healthy first stage of any relationship. So, yeah, it feels good. You two feel good together.
I mean, I think we do. I think he pushes back a lot of it. So I feel like sometimes I'm almost like I'm fighting to be his friend. Like I'm putting a lot of work into it because I feel the connection, and I know he does. But it's almost like he's so scared, and I'm scared too. But I still want to give him a chance because I haven't got this connection with anybody like this in a very long time, and I feel like it feels good in my soul. Maybe that's what I want to say.
Yeah, good. Well, I think he's just experiencing the natural dynamics of, he's having the butterflies and he feels it, but he doesn't know what it is like you do. Women are naturally and generally more intuitive than men, so that's something that you kind of need to allow for him, with that. And at some point you can talk to him about it in a way that he can get it. You can put it into some layman terms and just be supportive. Just use your natural, genuine feminine energy to be nurturing and supportive with him and be that friend. And that's going to be the best thing you can do. And he'll feel it. he'll feel it and he'll respond, and I think things will go very well between you two overall.
Thank you. Sure.
Yeah, Shelley?
I feel that it's going to be a friendship for a while. It may take into June, July, August for it to kind of blossom into more of a romantic relationship. I feel that, just let him take his time. He does care about you. He is into you. But you are right, he is scared. So it's going to take him time to get comfortable with the relationship. And that would be June, July, August. So there's a few months. And then it turns into a relationship. And I agree with Bill.
Be patient with him.
You what?
Be patient with him.
Be patient with him. Just accept it as a friendship right now. Enjoy the time you spend together. Enjoy talking to him, and let him get his bearings. Let him work through his fears, and he will. And he'll end up getting involved with you. There's no other woman in the picture, so that's good. He's not talking to anybody else or involved with anybody else. And I feel that he does have an interest in you. And I feel that he's going to be open and receptive to developing a relationship, that he's going to be open and receptive to that. So, Bill, how can Maria get in contact with you?
Yeah, Shelley, yes, Maria, if you'd like to get in contact with me, my website is billfoss.net. That's BILLFOSS.net, and I have books and sessions available there to be able to help you in any way that you might need. And also my phone number for readings is 714-706-0402.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you so much. I feel much better. So I thank you so much. God bless you with the reading. Thank you.
And thank you
Hello?
for calling the Psychic Horizon Show, Maria. I wanted to thank Bill Foss for being my special guest on the Psychic Horizon Show today. He'll be back in the future. I want to thank Tiffany White, Sage Woman of Goldilocks Productions, for producing the Psychic Horizon Show. And I want to thank all the callers who call the Psychic Horizon Show. Thank you for being on the Psychic Horizon Show, Bill.
Thank you, Shelley. Thank you very much. Have a great day.
You too. Have a good weekend. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye-bye.